Welcome to Canines for America. My name is Ryan, and this is Crook. And today, we're going to teach you and your dog how to find any odor by using these tools. Let's get started.
That was great. And she's done.
And she's done. So now that you've been working on your obedience, you've kind of temperament diagnosed, you understand the behavioral reactions, now you're ready to, you've been training your dog on just the basic box, searching for food, and kind of explain to them a little bit about what they're about to get into. So now as we go forward in developing our canines olfactory to find an odor, to find any odor, you're going to need some tools. You're going to need some gear. The better gear you have, the easier the job, the pairing association it will be. We have a few things that we have out here today that we're just going to kind of walk through and why we have them. The more that you do have, again, like I said, each tool kind of serves its own purpose. So not every ball dropper is the same as another ball dropper. Not every ball popper is the same as a ball popper, etc. So I kind of have multiple tools depending on what I'm trying to help teach my dog, whether it's a direction of looking down, is it looking side to side, is it looking up? Is it the ability to break down odors, such as if I'm working a narcotic or an explosive canine and you're trying to create a mixture of odors? Certain devices are great for that, etc. So going to kind of dive into, not only are the tools kind of specific, but for a temperament as well. For example, a chloric dog loves to use their eyes, but if we get into our Sangee, sometimes our Sangee dogs are more auditory enabled. So certain dogs, if we get into, the first piece of equipment, which would be this ball dropper, but it's also kind of like a two-in-one. It's a ball dropper, but it's also a ball popper. Excuse me, it's not the auditory device that I wanted to talk about. I'll get into that next. But this is a ball dropper. So if I use this one, the popping ability of this tool isn't as great. It's kind of a little bit more low key. So sometimes, that might work depending on your canine. If they get more startled by a huge, ejection of a ball, this one's more subtle. But what I love about this Dogtra is its capability to have multiple devices on one remote, so you don't have to kind of carry two different remotes, but its ability to just, if I'm teaching a dog a high hide, really to get their nose up in the air, to get their eyes up in the air, this is a great tool because I can hang it, I can stash it somewhere very high, and then basically at the end of the day, you hit your remote and it drops a ball. And I can reinforce what I always love to do too is, the dog wins. I want the dog to spit the toy, give the toy back to me, and I want to see cognitively, can I teach them to go right back to that odor and find out that they get rewarded with that odor by reinforcing the olfactory, a visual, and I can do another drop. Okay, this tool allows you to do multiple drops at one time. Fantastic for that. If you want to use the popper of this toy, of this Dogtra, you just switch the switch over. It's kind of basically right here. That allows you to drop it. Oh, now I want to go into a popping scenario. I just moved the switch over. It's now loaded. And then the same concept, I'll hit my remote. And you can see kind of how high that ball pops. It's very, very subtle, but it works depending on the situation or what you're trying to accomplish with the canine. Now getting to my original statement with this device by K9 BSD, is a very rad device because it serves a lot of different purposes. Like I said, sometimes a canine, your chlorics will get very, right, that central nervous system is always at a 10. So sometimes it's hard to get their focus because it's like squirrel, squirrel. They can get out of focus a lot by using, right, the auditory. It allows me to regain their focus back in on what I'm trying to get them to look for, use their olfactory for. So by having an auditory paired, it's a great tool for that. Some dogs immediately use auditory over their vision or over an olfactory. So again, using the auditory is a really cool tool for that. The ability of this tool to pop is strong, which, I love the fact that what it can accomplish, again, having the ball there, if I wanted to take away this bracket and just have it on the ground and I want to pop it, we can see that, right, severe air. So it's kind of really cool to keep that excitation level with that ball really shooting out of here at a high level. It's a great tool for that. It's also a cool device if I want to teach kind of the go command to get my dog at a foos. If I give the go command, I get that really cool torque, that explosion, especially if you're really trying to get that excitation of the dog to launch forward. That's a good tool that can serve a lot of different purposes. K9 BSD also makes their version of a ball dropper, but you would need two devices to act as that one Dogtra device. You can see you have a very large, kind of tube that you can hold multiple balls to continuously be able to drop. So this is K9 BSD's version of their ball dropper. Again, another cool tool, but you can see the formation of its shape is a lot different than the Dogtra, which can, change. If I want to get under a vehicle, under a tractor trailer to do a ball drop, this is probably what I'm going to use. This might be a little bit more difficult depending on my clearance of a vehicle to do a ball drop. This obviously can hold a lot more toys within it, a different shape of a toy, depending on my canine and what they prefer. That creates that learning excitation that I'm trying to accomplish. So a lot of different multiple ball droppers and ball launchers that are out there. So it's kind of what's your preference. If you're the novice and you only need one, if you want to get more into being more of on a professional status, there's multiple devices that I would recommend that you just kind of start collecting over your time frame. Other great things, if we want to just get in kind of like the basic old school stuff, are just scent pouches, which are great. Great to work these nylon pouches. You just open them up, you put your odor in them. Great to play the tug game with a canine, to where, when you're playing that play with the odor in it, that association will start to develop over time, cognitively with the canine, where they're smelling that odor. The association is just a fantastic experience, right? It kind of gets you into a little bit of that trial by error, where they're really, learning and you're experiencing with them what they like and how they like it. Some like the leather. You can bite into the leather. We have different sizes that you can get into as well. If you want to do high hides, low hides, trying to get this into a small area versus trying to get a larger pouch into the areas as well. Great for area searches. You can go out into a field at night. This is great because it also disguises itself when it's black. You throw it down. Good to have the dog kind of just be searching a large field come across that, you can get something, when you're learning, you're doing entry-level stages of that game, of an area search. You can use the white, which is going to make itself very identifiable to the canine. And once we start getting into all these different episodes of how this all works, you're going to see the benefits of using white versus the black or like a brown leather. Other cool devices that you'll see us want to use, we call these kind of like our stash boxes. They come with magnets on the bottom, which is great for you to be able to stick up under something, stick to a vehicle. If you're in a warehouse doing warehouse searches, they're awesome to get onto racks. Anything that you can go ahead and click this magnet on, it's awesome. You can have them be exposed, so you have that canine that you're trying to develop in the very beginning, and you want them to be able to use their visual with that olfactory. You can have these exposed. Just another great tool with the air being able to get in to help move that odor and for the odor to escape. These are very radical tools to be able to deploy as well. You can use pipes. You can go to Home Depot. You can just buy yourself a pipe. You can fill it with your odor. You can drill a couple of holes in it. Same thing. You'll find, certain canines love to put their mouths on PVC. They like certain dogs, prefer the nylon. It's kind of, again, that trial by error. You're going to have to figure out, what is my canine? What level can I create that excitation to get that engagement with my canine? Sometimes, the ball will only bring out so much of that central nervous system where, hey, shoot, if I just used a pipe, I thought my dog wasn't interested in that game. They're not very, motivated by, going for that ball. But all of a sudden you bring out a pipe, you bring out nylon, you bring out a different tool that equates the same result that you're looking for. But now you can accentuate that dog to where they're very engaged, and you've created their attention, you've created that excitation in the central nervous system, all by simply changing out your tool. So instead of, that dog can't play this game, yeah, they can, you just have the wrong tool. You got to make sure you find the right tool. So the PVC piping is a great way for that. Other tools that I love, the creators of this device is just a fantastic device to use. It allows me, from a narcotic standpoint, to use different mixtures of narcotics. Like I said before, and you'll really see us get into this even more when we talk about narcotics. Not, heroin is somewhat, and we'll get further into it, but heroin in Wisconsin is different than heroin in Ohio. So this way I can start to play with my mixtures and really strengthen my dog on their ability to find certain odors by me being able to create the correct mixtures or varying with the different mixtures to see how my dog reacts to something with acidic anhydride in it versus acetone versus powdered sugar. I can kind of create recipes with this device, and I can create the recipes for narcotics, and I can also create the recipes for explosives by using this type of a device. Very cool device, lets you control how much odor escapes from the device. This device can fit into, it is quite large, but it can work very well in a scent box, which I'll talk about in a second, or you can get the smaller version, which is this little guy, which changes the size of your vials and the size of your recipes, but allows you to be able to place this in a lot smaller of an area, which gives you a little bit more ability to be more creative in your hides and working that dog's olfactory. But when you start getting into devices such as these, this is 20 episodes down the road that you'll start to see us show you how we use these and how we use these appropriately. But again, these are all the tools that you're going to be needing as you see us, and you'll see us using all these tools in our series now as we start to get into how to teach you and your dog how to find any odor, and also how to discriminate against odor. The other cool things that, you know, the biggest one you'll see us start to use immediately is going to be the scent box. You can make these out of wood if you want. You can, you know, create them how you like to see them. For me, it's a lot easier for me to just obviously go out and get this equipment. This is just a strong plastic. It allows me to wipe it down, keep it clean. It's very durable. I can bury these things into the ground. I can do a lot with them, but you can also see that I can hide my devices inside these boxes. And this is just another great, you know, huge tool that I use in the very beginning when I'm trying to create that association and train my dog to be able to look down into a box and find their odor, recognize their odor, shape that behavior that I want to be able to shape. And then also a great tool to use in, you know, odor discrimination and teaching my dog how, you know, to not be interested in net mug, cinnamon, you know, garlic, any type of an odor that you're also trying to confuse the dog on. Nutmeg, cut.
That's fine, I'll cut it out.
Nutmeg. Any type of an odor that you're looking for. So scent discrimination, a great tool. They also have these neat little plastic balls that come in kind of a UV protective bag. These are a lot of fun. Why I love these guys, they come with a small little bag that I can put my odor in. So very small little bag, I can put my odor in. Then the odor folds up. I can put it into the ball, which is really cool. Has a cool wild string. I can place it, and then when it pops into the air, the canine can grab it with its mouth. Now the canine has that odor that it's being reinforced with, it's being paired with constantly, and then the string allows me to play, engage in the dog. So more reinforcement, right? So the dog only comes, the dog smells, sees the ball, smells the odor, gets rewarded by the ball, and then gets rewarded by getting to play with the human. So there's a lot of great things that go on with this type of a device, this type of a tool that can be used in any of our ball launchers. Just a really radical pairing, shaping tool to help teach your dog and you how to find the correct odor. The last but not least, we also have aluminum tin. These little guys I think are just fantastic. It's aluminum tin. Allows me to play with different levels of odor. And that's one thing that we're going to start getting into is, you know, what we're always trying to create with our canine is a scent picture. We're really trying to give that brain a picture of what the odor is. So, you know, A plus B equals C. Now, different levels, different amounts of odor will change that scent picture to a canine. So this way allows us to play with smaller amounts to larger amounts to different styles of odor that we're trying to create in our canine's brain. Because not only do I want to just teach A plus B on, you know, 5 grams of something, I want to also teach A plus B equals C on 10, 15, 30. Different amounts. I need to make sure that I walk through and I imprint my canine on all those different levels. So therefore, my canine has been exposed to what, because, you know, 10 grams is different than, you know, 50 grams. So I need to make sure that I really am able to, depending again on the situation that you want to use your dog and how you want to use your dog, this is kind of a good way to get a little bit more detail, break things down, and also great for scent discrimination. By using these aluminum tins, I'll leave my odor in there for so long, and then I can just discard the whole tin and be done with it and start afresh. So at the end of the day, guys, your tools are going to help you really be able to pair your dog with the correct odor. These tools are used, you know, for different situations and different challenges that we want to create for our canine. The scent boxes, if I'm teaching a dog, I might only use these scent boxes for, you know, 2 weeks. And then after that, I'm out. I'm done. I'm no longer using scent boxes with that canine. I've now moved on to different tools with the canine because they've already graduated from the scent boxes. But again, depending on the temperament and the training that you've laid out for your canine, the sex, the age, you might have to do 3 weeks with the scent box. You might have to do a week. You might have to do 4 weeks. It all depends on you, but you want to leave these, but also at the same time, you want to start mixing in different styles of tools, because what it will also do for you and your canine, it keeps the games more interesting. You can play different variations of the game while trying to accomplish that odor pairing with teaching your dog that right odor that they want to find. Not only do they find it in the box, they find it in a stash box, they find it in a nylon sleeve, they find it in a 10, they can find it in all different areas as you're really growing that olfactory and the confidence of that canine. Guys, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to click like and click subscribe. Thanks for watching.